Hi. So today we're going to talk about addressee. So every poem has a voice. Every poem has a speaker, and sometimes that speaker is the poet themselves, and sometimes that poet is playing a part, which we refer to as using a persona. But what the question for today is, who is that person addressing? To whom is the poet speaking? That is addressee. Addressee is not ubiquitous in poetry, but it is pretty common, and it's an important thing to look out for. You're not going to see it in every poem, but where there is an addressee, it's important to consider to whom is the poet speaking. Very famous poem, sonnet number 18 by William Shakespeare, "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?" Right there in the first line, we see that the poet is addressing someone, thee being the informal version of the second person pronoun you. So in this poem, Shakespeare is speaking to someone whom he is very fond of. In song lyrics, addressee is very common. On Taylor Swift's last album, every single song, I looked at the lyrics, every single song has a clear addressee. This is Taylor Swift's second most famous song, apparently. And you can see right there, I knew you were trouble. Right there, second person pronoun in the title, Taylor Swift is addressing a clear addressee. Interestingly, her most famous song, "Shake It Off," does not have an addressee. It's not addressed to anyone in particular. She only uses first person and third person pronouns in this song. So this just goes to show that while it is very common and it's an important feature, it's not ubiquitous. Not every poem, not every song will have a clear addressee. So let's go back to poetry. Here is a poem by Megan O'Rourke, right in the title, "The Night Where You No Longer Live." We can see that this poem is addressed to someone in particular. And when you look at the third line, you'll see that we learn in that line to whom the poem is addressed and also the relationship between the speaker and the addressee. Another way of having an addressee is to use an inclusive pronoun like we and our. Here's a poem by Liesl Muller, "The End of Science Fiction." And in this poem, in the second line, she says, "We are the characters who have invaded the moon, who cannot stop their computers. We are the gods who can unmake the world in 7 days." So in this poem, she is using we and our to be inclusive, addressing both the person she's speaking to, addressing the addressee, but including herself in that group.